So, as always with the credit roll, let's do a review. Oh man. So, first and foremost, obviously, great game. Great. Without a doubt, this is the best superhero game I have ever played. No question about it. I'm even approaching the release of this. A lot of people are like, are you excited for Spider-Man? And I was like, I am, but I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. Mainly because of the fact that, if you think about it, in general, usually superhero games are fucking terrible. And, honestly, think about it. The Hulk games, the Superman games, even the older Spider-Man games, they were okay. But for the most part, superhero games are usually just a big old bag of potatoes. And man, what they made here, I would not quantify this as just your average superhero game. You had a amazing alive world, which I think is a huge part of it. If you're going to play as Spider-Man, you want to be able to do all the Spider-Man stuff, not just the combat and the weapon, but sometimes just fucking swinging around and climbing up buildings and shit. And they did an excellent job, I think, of creating a world, recreating New York City, but to the extent where it really maximized your potential to be Spider-Man. Moving on from there, my next concern with this game was with the combat. You look at the Arkham games, and a lot of people were like, is this going to be an Arkham copy-paste? And I think they did a really good job of mixing up the formula. You still had the basic idea of hit, timed attacks and dodges here and there. But when you work in the huge plethora of gadgets, oh my god, man, I was webbing people, and then I was net webbing people, and then I was... the first time I did the gravity bomb into the web bomb into the concussion blast, I was just like, get fucked. Just the wombo combos you could do. And then on top of that, add in all the other moves combat-wise. You have the ability to pick people up and throw them, knock them into the air, swing kick them. The combat, there was enough going on that despite it being simple, it was incredibly involved, and it felt just diverse. Now, the one complaint I do have about the combat is, the combat itself, it always felt like I had, something else I could do. The executions. After a while, it the combat, even though, I have the same basic moves, I'm going to be punching and swinging and throwing and shit, since you're always swapping back and forth between stuff, you don't really notice the repetition. But I feel that when you were doing the focus kills, that after a while, I would see the same focus kills here and there, and I'd be like, oh, here's that one again. Here's the around the neck flip smash. Just here it is again.
I'm not an expert or anything, but I think it's in the way that you ask her.
I'm getting too nervous. Hey, all right. So where do you want this?
Right over here is fine.
All right. Hey, so Pete?
Yeah.
I, kind of got to talk to you about something I can't tell my mom about.
What's up?
Well, weird things have been going on. Physically.
Oh. Well, you're at that age where your body starts to change. And
Not
so
like
you
that,
may be
Pete.
noticing some areas,
No.
for example.
Not that. I think it's better that I just, I show you.
No.
It's pretty weird, right?
Not that weird.
Yeah, sequel. So yeah, obviously there's going to be a sequel. More than likely, we're gonna play as Miles in the sequel. That would be my bet. But back on the point I was making about the combat, I really wish they would have given us you know, just a bigger, more diverse set of takedowns. I would have, like, I think all in all there was maybe 10, maybe 15 takedowns that I saw in total. I would have liked to see that number increase to like 30. Just more diversity, especially because at the end of the day, like, I'm not done playing this game. I'm still going to go around and beat a bunch of bad guys and do free roams and do more combat, and, you know, seeing the same takedowns over and over again starts to be like, ugh, it's this one again. So I would have liked that, especially with as much love as they put into this game. I think doing the mocap for a couple more takedowns wouldn't have hurt. Moving on to the music I loved. I mean, every single time, man, I'd be like, you know, sitting, naming an episode, uploading it, go back into the game to play the next part, and then as soon as I started swinging, the music kicked off, and like, it just, the pacing of the music, when it started, when it stopped, they did an excellent job. I wouldn't say that anything in the soundtrack was particularly like jaw-dropping. You know, this isn't The Witcher, Nier Automata, or Persona or anything like that, but for a superhero game, I think the music was compelling. It kind of fit in that mold of, you know, generic superhero music, and I think it did a good job at that. What else? The collectibles were a lot of fun in this game. I know that's something weird to point out, but like, I actually was like, I want to get all these damn backpacks, or I'm going to chase all these pigeons. Like, it felt, excuse me, a lot of fun. I apologize for the yawning. It's actually 5:20 in the morning right now. I literally just recorded through like the last 15 episodes of the series. No, that's not true. Not 15. Let me see. 21 up to 31. So 10. The last 10 episodes have been nonstop, just recorded in one big old stretch. You know, in comparison to something like Arkham, I gave zero fucks about the Riddler trophies. In fact, like, towards the end of Batman, I very much was like playing that game just to, I was like, I want to play it and I want to get done. I want to finish. I want this to be done. And this, like, even though I'm done, I'm not like done. Like, I'm still going to be dicking around and playing in this game. I'll probably plan the stream. Well, the stream will have already happened, but I'll figure out a time for the stream, and, you know, probably jump in, do the side missions and stuff. Almost guarantee I'll be checking out the DLC. Like, I was very impressed with this for a superhero game. So enough gushing about it. Let's talk about things that I would have liked to see improved. As I previously mentioned already, I would have liked to see more takedowns. I think a bigger variety in takedowns would have been nice for the game, but I don't feel that that's necessarily something that, like, I would dock points for. You know, the game was fine in the way it was. I just think more takedowns would have been nice to see. Let me turn that controller back on. Outside of that, at times, I don't know. Maybe it was me. You know, maybe it's one of those things where I don't want to say, like, yeah, it was the game's fault, but there were times, like 90% of the time, the controls were right there. But there was always that, like, slight time here and there where it got a little fucky and I couldn't quite hit what I was doing. Like, for example, with the fight against, what's his name? Scorpion. You know, where I was, like, going through the poison and, like, I failed like 4 times in a row just trying to hop onto a damn platform. And, like, it's because the game wanted me to, like, hard target the platform and shoot the web and jump to it and crawl. But, you know, for the rest of the game, if I just tapped the trigger, I could shoot to a wall and then run across it. And at that part in the game, suddenly you couldn't, and you had to you know, tap, and then crawl up, and it just, I don't know, it felt disjointed. So, and that wasn't the only time there was something like that I experienced. In a similar fashion, once the Sable Goons showed up around town, I felt like that was a really big difficulty ramp. Like, I mean, I'd say for the most part, I didn't really have an issue with the combat in the game. I was able to take down just about everything with ease. And right after the prison break, when we're going around, and we got the Sable guys, and the Sable guys are just laying into me, I was like, holy shit. Like, I need to... I mean, I legit stopped recording. Well, you know, I finished the episode, but I took a break, went upstairs, made food, just kind of chilled out for 20 minutes because I was, like, getting my ass beat by these guys. And I think it would have been good to, you know, kind of slow roll the Sable guys in, because we got our asses stomped by, like, a basic traffic stop. And, you know, the game had plenty of tips about You know, do this to throw back rockets, do this to throw back guns. Like, even a basic one is the first time you fight the Sable guys, like later on I was like, alright, you know, taking out this truck, if I go and I hit the missile launcher, or the laser launcher, whatever the fuck it was, that's going to make this a lot easier. But without doing that in advance, you were probably going to get dunked on. Like, that's something that would have been good. To be like, you know, now Sable patrols the city. Be careful of their APCs. If you don't take them out, they are extremely deadly. Boom. Problem solved. Let's see. Ooh. Moving on from there, I mentioned on Twitter, I would have liked to see Symbiote, but apparently they're planning a second game, and the second game will be focused on Symbiote. So, if that is the case, this is something somebody said that was quoted in an interview. I haven't seen the interview myself, but supposedly there's going to be a second game that'll completely focus on Symbiote and Venom and Carnage and all the Symbiote stuff. If that turns out to be true, fuck yes, I will be all about that, because I was a huge Symbiote nerd. The last time I actually read the Spider-Man comics was back during the trial of Peter Parker, and there was a lot of you know, villains and symbiote and shit going on back then, and I never finished it. I had like most of the series, and then I couldn't find like the last 2 comics, I think, which these days I'm sure I could if I, like, you know, Googled and caught back up to them. I'll probably look back into it and reread through the trials of Peter Parker now that I just played this, because it's like resparked my interest in it. But I really want Symbiote, and based on what we know about the DLCs, so let me just pull up the names. All 3 of the DLCs have already been named. So, let me see. Spider-Man PS4 DLCs. We have... let's see. We have 3 parts. We have the heist, which involves Black Cat. Pretty straightforward. Following up on that, we have Turf Wars, which not too sure about Turf Wars, but these are coming fast. The heist is at the end of October. Turf Wars is in December, and Turf Wars, I'd imagine, is maybe like leftover Lee's Men versus, like, maybe it's like Lee's Men and the Sable dudes and Fisk's guys. I don't know. But with the name Turf Wars, I think there's something like that. And the final one is called Silver Lining, and that's coming out in December. With a name like Silver Lining, and the fact that we had the little audio thing where Silver Sable says she's going to leave and, you know, reconsider what she wants to do, I would put my money on the final DLC being one focused around Silver Sable. So, I mean, not necessarily terrible DLCs, not DLCs that I'm particularly, like, super hyped for, but I'll probably play all 3 of them. So the real question is going to be whether or not we get a sequel. You know, how deeply the sequel involves Miles, how deeply the sequel involves symbiotes, if they let me play as Venom and run around town fucking shit up. These are all important questions that need to be answered, and would make me very happy if we got an answer to them. Anyway, back to the game. Controls in general were really smooth. I'm trying to think if there's any other, like, critical things to touch on. I mean, it's hard, because to be honest, this game really didn't have any faults. Like, aside from the little nitpicky things I've said, I mean, this game was fucking good. There's no other way to put it. Like, you know, I don't like saying a game's 10 out of 10, but I'd say in the context of it being a superhero game, this is about as close to 10 out of 10 as you can get. Like, it's just good. I mean, good. Like, we're at what? There's a 31 part long series, and never got bored of, you know, the combat. You know, my chief complaint is I want to see more takedowns. Like, that's saying something, man. That's just good stuff. So, anyway, if you're still around listening to me babble into this microphone, probably wondering what happens moving forward from here. Obviously, we already have Shadow of the Tomb Raider ongoing, so that's going to be the other main series we're working on right now. And as we make our way into October, the very first game on the list is going to be Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which, from what I have played, should be pretty fun. I played a good bit visiting Ubisoft and never ended up uploading it just because didn't have time because I had to record, and when we go there we capture 4K footage, and 4K footage takes fucking forever to process. It's ridiculous. Like a 20-minute video that's in 1080p would take me about 20 minutes to render. A 4K video that's 20 minutes is gonna take me like 3 hours to render, which ain't nobody got time for that. So, anyway, these credits are long, so thank you all those who helped with the game. I'm gonna have to hit that skip button and see if there's another post-credit cutscene before we close things on out. Yes, there is.
We were so close.
Who are you?
But I'll keep trying.
Wait,
I will find a cure.
is this?
I will. I love you, son.
Oh my god! That's Harry! And Symbiote! Yeah, there's definitely a fucking sequel. There is definitely a fucking sequel coming. So the symbiote is basically keeping Harry alive. Wow. Axe and Bellow. Done. Congratulations, you have finished the main story, but the adventure continues. You can now change the time of day in research stations. Good luck, hero. Man. New suit, anti-oct suit. Which, let's be honest, they're saying anti-oct, but we all know that this MK1, MK2, it's MK2. Anyway, and then we also got, complete all main missions, side quests, and reach 100%. And we get everyone goes down in one hit, including you. Equalizer. This is the Spidey underwear outfit that we saw earlier. Pretty neat stuff. I like gadgets coming back, but I think this is probably my favorite. So anyway, gonna be wrapping this video up here. As always, thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Spider-Man experience as much as I did. Definitely a fantastic way to kick off Q4 with a fun-filled and entertaining game to play. Either way, make sure to stay tuned to the channel. Obviously, we got lots more stuff coming on up. We got Tomb Raider. We got Assassin's Creed. We have all kinds of goodies. So don't go anywhere. And we'll see you guys next time.